Well, for only the second time in 10 years, the Federal Reserve has raised interest rates.
The announcement came last week that rates would go up by 1/4 percentage point. But how does that affect you?
Well, Omaha's retirement strategist, Darrell Bryant, is here to explain. Darrell is one of Omaha's premier financial advisors and the president of D. Bryant Retirement Strategies. And he also hosts the Retirement Strategies radio show on 1110 KFEB right here in Omaha, and that airs Saturdays at 8 a.m. Welcome back, Darrell. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Have a good weekend?
Great weekend. Yeah, great
Stay
weekend.
Warm. It was cold out.
Hairy commute for you both this morning.
Bundle up a little bit.
Yeah. Now put this into context for us, because the Feds, they raised interest rates last week.
Yep.
What does this mean for us? What does it mean for the average American?
Well, thank goodness we're finally raising some rates. I like that. I'm personally of the opinion that we ought to let the market decide what money's worth, but that's the way our system operates. What that means is, well, it means a lot of things to a lot of people depending on what side of the coin you're on. If you're a borrower, well, you're going to pay a little bit more to borrow, right? If you're a retiree, for example, and you're looking for safe parking places for your money, well, you're going to have a little bit higher, opportunity for a little bit higher rate of return. Where the bond market is concerned, we're seeing bond rates are getting pushed forward. If interest rates increase as they have now, then if you own existing bonds, I'll bet if you went to your portfolio, you'd find that those bond values have declined because you have bonds that are paying a lower rate of return than what a person can go out and get now. So they have what we call an inverse relationship to prevailing rates, which means if you have rates go up, bonds go down, existing value, and vice versa. Where the stock market is concerned, that's another thing. I think the market already had built in the probability of a interest rate hike here, so we didn't see any fluctuation as a result of that. Depending upon what happens with Trump's new policy moving forward, if we see expansion, we've seen the market move forward here recently, and I think with that, with his expansion plans, new businesses, et cetera, if we see some more employment, some more orders for construction and permits and all that kind of thing, then I think we'll see this market hopefully get some actual legs underneath it, as opposed to simply the euphoria that pushed the market forward here recently.
Obviously, your area of specialty is retirees and those who are nearing retirement. So most specifically, what does this mean to them?
Well, what it means is it always means, regardless scale of what's happening in the market, it's always terribly important to have balance in your portfolio and the way you save money, the way you place your dollars. You can't have everything at risk. We certainly don't want to go chasing the market right now. There's an old saying in my line of work that we don't want to, try to catch the tail of a rocket, right? Because you're going to get burned, right? So that would be true. So in any environment, the key is balance in what you're doing. If the market moves forward, that's great. We want to be participating in a portion of that. We at my office will wait for a fuller participation in the S&P, Dow, et cetera, and equities until we can actually see real indicators that the value is there for us to own that. So we're going to lag just a smidge behind that because we don't want to, we're a retirement shop. We don't want to put our clients at risk. However, what we're trying to do in my line of work, in my particular shop, is we're trying to capture about 80% of the market moving forward and only expose our clients to about 40% of a decline. What it means to any retiree, however, is nothing has changed, right? We still want balance in our portfolio. We still want a lot of asset classes represented, and how that percentage changes just a little bit will vary based on other economic stuff that's going on.
Well, you touched on this. You touched on the markets, but the Dow Jones has soared in recent weeks, right? So how does the interest rate hike affect the Dow Jones specifically?
Well, a rise in interest rate would typically mean at least a temporary decrease in values of stocks. Why? Because if the cost of borrowing goes up, then the profitability of a corporation would be anticipated to go down, right? If it's going to cost them more to run their business. Again, we probably had already built that interest rate hike, that anticipation of an interest rate hike, into the pricing, right? So the market was anticipating that hike, as we move forward, I'm not concerned with us moving rates forward. We have to have higher interest rates because the Fed has to have somewhere to go to lower interest rates just to manipulate the economy the way what they're paid to do.
But your crystal ball, right? Yeah, that's where you're kind of leading us to, is the crystal ball 2017. How do you see 2017 shaping coming up? I mean, what do you think it's going to look like for the economy?
Well,
Feel it
there's
out,
a new
Darrell.
administration coming in too. so there's factors in as well.
I'm personally optimistic. No one was anticipating the movement forward, although it certainly stands to reason. With a policy where we have lower regulation, lower taxes, we're going to see more jobs created. I had a client in just last week. He says, "Listen, I'm in the commercial concrete business, and as soon as Trump was elected, we saw orders going right through the roof. People who had been putting off projects for years are now optimistic." What does that mean? That means orders for new supplies, it means new construction, it means new jobs, et cetera. So if, in the short term, Mike, if we can get some of this, some legs underneath what has already happened, because eventually the honeymoon might just be over. We might see a decrease. Again, don't be chasing the tail of a rocket, right? We don't want to be chasing that around. Balance, keep a longer term perspective. Don't be a short term guy, Mike.
Hey, I like that. I like that
like it.
analogy
That's
too,
right.
though. And if you're out there looking ahead to 2017, your finances, your retirement plan, now's a good time to see where you stand with retirement. If you call the number right there on the screen, you can get a retirement readiness review with Darrell's team. The review is free for the first 15 callers. The phone number 402-932-2141.
And let's take a look at more information about where you can find Darrell's office. You can give him a call or log on to dbryantretirementstrategies.com.
All right, Darrell. Well, we're looking ahead to 2017 as well.
We are.
Hopefully, good things in the future.
Yes.
Have a good. Well, we'll see you next week.
Sure.
We'll see you next
Watch
week.
out
Have
for
a good
that rocket
Christmas.
tail. Thank you,
That's
Darrell.
right. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So what we learned today.
That's right. All right, guest of the morning blend. Start there, Dave.